Hey everyone, what is going on? Elvis here. Welcome to another week of destruction. Here's everything awesome that happened in this week's gaming. So we've got three big topics that we're going to talk about today. Number one is a very interesting interview from one of the co-founders of Blizzard discussing the future of Diablo 3 development. And yeah, we're also going to be talking about the supposed April Lost Ark beta. Okay guys, so let's start off with an amazing interview that jumped up on VentureBeat. Basically, it's an interview with Frank Pearce, one of the co-founders of Blizzard, one of the OGs. Now, what really caught my attention is some of his discussion regarding Diablo 3. I'm a little bit worried about some of the things that he's said in the interview, so let me jump into some of the details. I don't want to take this out of context as well. I just got a bad vibe off it, and I thought I'd just share it with you guys anyway, see what you think. Okay, so two particular lines out of the interview caught my attention, and I'm going to directly quote them. Here we go. Now, Mr. Pearce goes on to say, "We have to compete with anything that occupies people's leisure time. That includes the way people spend time on social media or how and when they choose to watch movies, TV, reading books, shopping, and internet, watching the Super Bowl, etc. Now, all these things occupy people's time. It's all on demand these days. Everyone consumes it in very small time segments. All these things have a huge impact on what we're doing day to day." Now, the reason why this particular line caught my attention is because let's face it guys, we all know Blizzard has gone into a more of a casual kind of mentality rather than what they were, like 10 years ago. But a lot of games are doing this in general. But I really think that the idea that they're trying to compete as well socially says a lot about what they are actually trying to do, like integrate new chat systems, reach out to the community a lot more, but in general, make games much more approachable. Now, I recently got the chance to play an up-and-coming game, which I can't talk about because it's under NDA, but what I will say is that such a commitment when you log on and you have to play at least 1 hour to just have one fucking round. And when it comes to, say, something like Heroes of the Storm, a game might take 25 minutes. Now, that to me is still a very long time to commit to a particular game, but compared to MOBAs, it's extremely short. Now, that's, I think, one of the great things about Diablo 3 is that, you can just pick it up and play for as long as you want. You can just jump on and play it whenever you want, and it's going to be fun. There's no pressure to have to sit down, lock yourself in for an hour. But anyway, here's the part that did kind of catch my attention that I am a little bit unsettled about. Now, I'm going to read the direct quote as well, so I don't take anyone out of context here. Here we go. So, Mr. Pearce goes on to say, "We have a very loyal Diablo community. It's going to be important for us to continue to support that community." Great. I added in that great, by the way. "I don't know what that necessarily means right now because we're still actively supporting our Diablo 3 players. But I don't think we want to let our franchise go dormant for as long as we have historically. We have loyal communities around these franchises and it's not fair to let them go dormant that long." Now, what I believe he's actually referring to is the gap between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. That's my guess. But I really do feel a little bit uneasy with the fact where he's like, because we're still actively supporting our Diablo 3 players, what I think he means by that is the constant patches that are coming out updating Diablo 3. But this other part here, "I don't think we want to let our franchises go dormant." I just get this feeling like they're not working on an expansion when I read this. And, he's definitely not saying that directly, and it can go both ways. I think if you're, a little bit cynical like me, it feels a little bit like, well, are you guys even, you just guys working on new patches? Is there going to be an expansion coming soon? I just get this vibe off this particular article. But in saying that, I also want to add a counter argument to my own, and that is that Blizzard work, we've heard previously when they bring out a Heroes of the Storm character, they're working on it 6 months beforehand, and usually they've got it pretty close to finishing 6 months beforehand before they release. So it could be the case that, he's around the studio all the time, I assume, and they're already working on it, so it's just first nature to him, if that makes sense. But anyway, guys, I just thought I would bring this up. What's your interpretation of this? Yeah, you're a bit of a cynical like me, or are you very positive about it? Because I was kind of expecting an expansion to come out last BlizzCon, to be announced last BlizzCon anyway. Okay, now let's talk about Lumberyard. It's a brand new engine that Amazon has recently released, and I know it sounds boring, guys, but to be honest, there's some really cool stuff that I think it's worth talking about. So here we go. Number one, Amazon has just released a free gaming engine for developers to be able to make their own games for VR and for normal titles as well. It's a AAA engine. It's not stupid. It's not like, for indie game, it's a good one. It's a good fucking engine from what I've seen right now. It's got its own assets and all of this stuff. That's not the story here. Let's jump into the actual details that I think are worth talking about. Now, number one is that the source code is 100% free. So if you're a developer and you download it, you can actually customize it to your own liking. This is going to help Amazon game developers quite a lot. Now, if you don't know, Amazon actually has their own game department now. Now, Twitch sold sometime last year to Amazon, beating out a bid by Google, I believe, or maybe Google. I'm trying to remember if Google even bid for it anyway. Super surprising. Amazon ended up buying Twitch. Now, when we think about Amazon, you might think of like an eBay type thing, but the interesting part about this company is that they basically reinvented publishing when it came to books and that kind of stuff. They really were doing amazing stuff in that particular space, and it's quite clear now that they're moving into the gaming arena, hence buying Twitch, starting their own gaming department, and giving out a free engine for the developers. So the biggest question that I have out of all of this stuff, it's awesome already, but the question is, where are they going to sell the games? Is Amazon going to bring out their own gaming marketplace like Steam? So you might think, yeah, it's pretty obvious. They're just going to start selling it on Amazon. I don't believe that's going to be the case, guys. Let's take a look at, for example, in the book, audiobooks right now have its own platform called Audible. They actually bought out that company, and I think they're going to do something very similar with gaming. Are they going to try and compete with Steam? Or here's the big one that I reckon will tickle you guys. Are they going to integrate their own gaming store with Twitch? Boom! Imagine if they did that. That'd be pretty insane. I think it's a realistic thing. I've heard no one comment about this or rumor about this at all. So, yeah. Anyway, let's jump on to the Lost Ark beta. Now, there's been some rumors going around that the beta is coming out in April. Well, the truth is that they are exactly that. They are just rumors. A Chinese website came up with an article. They're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's going to come out in April based on, a source and all this stuff. It's all another rumor. Now, this is a pretty credible website as well. So it's kind of like, do we take them serious or not? We know Tencent is a Chinese company. Maybe they've, a staff member's leaked some info or something like that. But at the end of the day, guys, it is realistic to think that the beta will be coming out in April, but it is 100% fucking rumor, and we will watch this story filter through multiple websites to the point where eventually it will be fact, which it's not. Eventually it will get filtered so much that it's like, hey everyone, beta coming out in April. That's what happens in the gaming industry when people don't do their own journalism work in it. So I just thought I'd give you guys a heads up. It's going to be, this is just a rumor, so don't get too, caught up in it. Hey, I hope that it does come out too, though. Anyway, friends, thanks for joining me as always. I don't really have anything like silly or funny to put at the end of this video, except for this. Here's a dick shark.
Hey, Vids, does this look familiar?
Hey, who wrote that? Who wrote that about me?
Huh?